If I may have your attention for just a moment. On behalf of the household, and indeed all of us here at Valley Center Stage, I bid you a very warm welcome. It is, as they say, in 1969 in swinging London, though I assure you I myself remain entirely unswayed by the fashions of the era. If you have not already done so, you're most cordially invited to fill out one of the green slips in the lobby. Doing so enters you into a drawing of 2 complimentary tickets to one of next season's productions. I'm informed that the season will commence with Little Shop of Horrors. Quite an alarming title, but I'm told the effect is delightful. This evening's performance will include 2 brief intermissions, each approximately 10 minutes in duration. During the first interval, refreshments may be procured in the lobby. I recommend doing so in an orderly fashion. In the unlikely event of an emergency, there are 2 exits available to you. The door through which you entered and the secondary exit leading to the side alley directly to your left. I trust you shall make sensible use of them only if absolutely necessary. And now, with all practical matters attended to, it is my pleasure to say, without further ado, let us begin the show.
Get no satisfaction. I can't get no satisfaction. Did you hear what I was playing, Lane?
I didn't think it polite to listen, sir.
Well, I'm sorry for that. For your sake, I don't play accurately. Anybody can play accurately, but I do play with a wonderful expression. As far as the guitar is concerned, sentiment is my forte. I keep science for life.
Yes, sir.
Oh, speaking of the science of life, have you got the cucumber sandwiches cut for Lady Bracknell?
Yes, sir.
And by the way, then, I see that from your book on Thursday night when Lord Shoreman and Mr. Worthing were dining with us, that 8 bottles of champagne are marked as having been consumed.
Yes, sir. 8 bottles and a pint.
Why is it that at a bachelor's establishment, the servants invariably drink the champagne? Oh, I ask merely for information, of course.
I attribute it to the superior quality of the wine, sir. I've often observed that in married households, the champagne is rarely a first-rate brand.
Good heavens! Is marriage so demoralizing as that?
I believe it is a pleasant state, sir. I've had very little experience of it myself up to the present. I've only been married once. That was, in consequence of a misunderstanding between myself and a young person.
I don't know that I am much interested in your family life, Lane.
No, sir, it is not a very interesting subject. I never think of it myself.
Very natural, I'm sure. That will do, Lane, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Lane's views on marriage seem somewhat lax. I mean, really, if the lower orders can't show us how it's done, what on earth is the use of them? They seem as a class to have absolutely no sense of moral responsibility.
Mr. Earnest Worthing.
My dear Earnest, what brings you up to town?
Oh, pleasure, pleasure. What else should bring one anywhere? Eating as usual, I see, Algy.
I find it customary in good society to take some slight refreshment at 5 o'clock. But where have you been since Thursday?
In the country.
What on earth do you do there?
When one is in town, one amuses oneself. When one is in the country, one amuses other people. It is excessively boring.
And who are the people you amuse?
Oh, neighbours.
Got good neighbours in your part of Shropshire.
Perfectly horrid. Never speak to one of them.
How immensely you must amuse them. By the way, Shropshire is your county, is it not?
Shropshire, yes, of course. Though, why all these cups? Like cucumber sandwiches. Why such reckless extravagance in one so young? Who is coming to tea?
Oh, merely Aunt Augusta and Gwendolyn.
How perfectly delightful.
Yes, I'm sure that is all very natural, but I'm afraid Aunt Augusta won't quite approve of your being here.
May I ask why?
My dear fellow, the way you flirt with Gwendolyn is perfectly disgraceful. It is almost as bad as the way Gwendolyn flirts with you.
I'm in love with Gwendolyn. I have come up to town expressly to propose to her.
I thought you said you came up for pleasure. I call that business.
How utterly unromantic you are.
Oh, I do not see what is so romantic about a proposal. Now, it is very romantic to be in love, but there is nothing romantic about a definite proposal. Why, one should be accepted, one usually is, I suppose, and then the excitement is all over. No. The true essence of romance is mystery, uncertainty. If ever I get married, I will certainly try to forget the fact.
I have no doubt about that, dear Algy. The divorce court was specially invented for people whose memories are so curiously constituted.
Oh, there's no use speculating on that subject. Divorces are made in heaven. Please don't touch the cucumber sandwiches. They were cut specifically for Aunt Augusta.
But you have been eating them all the time.
Well, that is an entirely different matter. She is my aunt. No, you must have bread and butter. The bread and butter is for Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn is devoted to bread and butter.
And very good bread and butter it is too.
Well, you need not eat it like you are going to eat it all. You act as if you are already married to her. You are not already married to her, and I don't think you ever will be.
Why on earth do you say that?
Well, in the first place, women never marry the men that they flirt with. They don't think it right.
Oh, that is nonsense.
It isn't. It accounts for the extraordinary number of bachelors one sees about London all the time. In the second place, I don't give my consent.
Your consent.
She is my first cousin, and before I allow you to marry her, you have to clear up the whole question of Cecily.
Cecily? What on earth do you mean? What do you mean, Algy, by Cecily? I don't know anyone of the name of Cecily.
Bring me that cigarette case Mr. Worthing left in the smoking room the last time he dined with us.
Yes, sir.
Do you mean to say that you have had my cigarette case all this time?
Mm-hmm.
I wish to goodness you would let me know. I have been writing frantic letters to Scotland Yard about it. I was very nearly offering a large reward.
I wish you would offer one up. I happen to be unusually hard up at the moment.
There is no good offering a large reward now that the thing is found.
I find that rather mean of you, Ernest, I must say. Oh, hello. Now that I read the inscription on the inside, I find that the case isn't yours after all.
Of course it's mine. You have seen me with it 100 times, and you have no right whatsoever to read what is written inside. It is a very ungentlemanly thing to read a private cigarette case.
So, it is absurd to have a hard and fast rule about what one should read and what one shouldn't. In fact, more than half of modern culture depends upon what one shouldn't read.
I'm quite aware of the fact, and I don't propose to discuss modern culture. It isn't the sort of thing one should talk of in private. I simply want my cigarette case back.
Yes. Oh, but this isn't your cigarette case. It is a gift of someone from the name of Cecily, and you have just said you don't know anybody of that name.
Well, if you want to know, Cecily happens to be my aunt.
Your aunt!
Yes, charming old lady she is too. Lives at Tunbridge Wells. Just give it back to me, Algy.
Oh, but why does your aunt call herself Little? From Little Cecily, with her fondest love.
My dear fellow, what on earth is there in that? Some aunts are tall, some aunts are not tall. That's the matter that surely an aunt may be allowed to decide for herself. You seem to think that every aunt should be exactly like your aunt.
Oh.
That is absurd. For heaven's sake, give me back my cigarette case.
Yes. But why does your aunt call you her uncle? From little Cecily with her fondest love to her dear Uncle Jack. Oops, I make no objection that an aunt may be a small aunt, but an aunt, no matter what her size may be, to call her own nephew her uncle, I can't quite make out. Besides, your name is not Jack, it is Ernest.
It isn't Ernest. It's Jack.
You have always told me it was Ernest. I have introduced you to everybody as Ernest. You answer to the name of Ernest. You You look as though your name were Ernest. You are the most earnest-looking person I have ever met. It is absurd to deny the fact that your name is Ernest. It is written on your cards. Here's one of them now. Mr. Ernest Worthing, before the Albany. I'll keep that as a proof that your name is Ernest if you ever attempt to deny it to me. Or to Gwendolyn. Or to anybody else.
Well, my name's Ernest in town, and Jack in the country. And the cigarette case was given to me in the country.
Yes, but that does not account for the fact that your little Aunt Cecily, who lives at Tunbridge Wells, calls you her dear uncle. You had better have the whole thing out, my boy.
My dear Algy, you talk exactly as if you were a dentist.
Thank you.
It is very vulgar to talk like a dentist when one isn't a dentist. It produces a false impression.
That is precisely what dentists do. Now, come on, the whole thing. I may have mentioned I have always suspected you of being a secret and confirmed Bunburyist, and now I'm quite sure of it.
Bunburyist? What on earth do you mean by a Bunburyist?
I will reveal to you the meaning of that incomparable expression as soon as you tell me why you are Ernest in town and Jack in the country.
Well, produce my cigarette case first.
Here it is. Oh, you're not fun. Now, produce your explanation, and pray make it improbable.
My dear fellow, there's nothing improbable about my explanation at all.
Yeah.
In fact, it's perfectly ordinary. Old Mr. Thomas Cardew, who adopted me when I was a little boy, made me in his will guardian to his granddaughter, Miss Cecily Cardew. Cecily, who addresses me as her uncle for motives of respect which you cannot possibly appreciate, lives at my place in the country under the charge of her admirable governess, Miss Prism.
And where in the country is this place?
That is nothing to you, dear boy. You are not going to be invited. I may tell you candidly that the place is not in Shropshire.
I suspected that already. I have Bunburied all over Shropshire on 2 separate occasions. Now, why are you Ernest in town and Jack in the country?
My dear Algy, I don't know whether you will be able to understand my real motives. You are hardly serious enough. When one is placed in the position of guardian, one has to adopt a very high moral tone on all subjects. It's one's duty to do so. And as a high moral tone can hardly be said to conduce very much to either one's health or one's happiness, in order to get up to town I have always pretended to have a younger brother of the name of Earnest, who lives in the Albany and gets into the most dreadful scrapes. That, my dear Algy, is the whole truth. Pure and simple.
Oh, the truth is rarely pure and never simple. If it were, modern life would be tedious, and modern literature a complete impossibility.
That wouldn't at all be a bad thing.
Literary criticism is not your forte, my dear fellow. Don't try it. No, you had best leave that to the people who have never been to a university. They do it so well in the papers. No, what you are is a Bunburyist. I was quite right in assuming you were a Bunburyist. In fact, you are one of the most advanced Bunburyists I know.
What on earth do you mean?
You have invented a very useful younger brother called Earnest, so that you may be able to come to town whenever you like. I have invented an invaluable permanent invalid called Bunbury, so that I may be able to go into the country as I choose. Oh, Bunbury is perfectly invaluable. In fact, if it weren't for Bunbury's extraordinary bad health, I wouldn't be able to dine with you at Willis's tonight, for I really have been engaged to Aunt Augusta for more than a week.
I haven't asked you to dine with me anywhere tonight.
I know. You are so careless when it comes to sending invitations. It's absurd. People hate nothing more than not receiving invitations.
You had much better dine with your Aunt Augusta.
I haven't the smallest intention of doing anything of the kind. In the first place, I dined there on Monday night, and once a week is quite often enough to dine with one's own relations. In the second place, whenever I do dine there, I am always treated as a member of a family, and is sent down with either no women at all or 2. In the third place, I know precisely who she will place me next to. She will place me next to Mary Farquhar, who always flirts with her own husband from across the dinner table. That kind of thing is not right. In fact, it is not even decent. And that kind of thing is enormously on the increase. The amount of women in London who flirt with their own husbands is perfectly perfectly scandalous. It is not right. It is simply washing one's own clean linen in public. Besides, now that I know you to be a Bunburyist, I naturally want to talk to you about Bunburying. I want to tell you the rules.
I'm not a Bunburyist at all. If Gwendolyn accepts me, I'm going to kill my brother. Oh, indeed, I think I'll kill him in any case. Cecily is a little too much interested in him. 'Tis rather a bore. So I'm going to get rid of Earnest, and I strongly advise you to do the same with your invalid friend who has the absurd name.
Oh, nothing will induce me to part with Bunbury. If you ever get married, which I find exceedingly problematic, you will be happy to know Bunbury. For a man who gets married and does not know Bunbury has a very tedious time of it.
Oh, that is nonsense. If I marry a charming girl like Gwendolyn, and she is the only girl I ever saw in my life that I would marry, I certainly won't want to know Bunbury.
Oh, then your wife will. For you see, in married life, 3 is company and 2 is none.
That, my dear young friend, is the theory that the corrupt French drama has been propounding for the last 50 years.
Yes, and that the happy English home has proven half the time.
For heaven's sake, don't try to be cynical. It's perfectly easy to be cynical.
Oh, it isn't perfectly easy to be anything nowadays. There's such a lot of beastly competition about. Oh, that must be Aunt Augusta. Only relatives or creditors ever ring in that Wagnerian manner. Now, suppose I get her out of the way for, say, 10 minutes, so that you might have an opportunity of proposing to Gwendolyn. Might I then dine with you at Willis's tonight?
I suppose so, if you want to.
Yes, but you must be serious. I hate people who are not serious about meals. It is so shallow of them.
Lady Bracknell and Miss Fairfax.
Good afternoon, dear Algernon. I hope you are behaving very well.
I am feeling quite well, thank you, Aunt Augusta.
That's not quite the same thing. In fact, the two things rarely go together.
Dear me, you are smart.
I am always smart. Am I not, Mr. Worthy?
You're quite perfect, Miss Fairfax.
Oh, I hope I am not that. He would leave no room for developments. And I intend to develop in many directions.
I'm sorry if we are a little late, Algernon, but I was obliged to call on dear Lady Harmony. I haven't been there since her poor husband's death. I never saw a woman so altered. She looks quite 20 years younger. And now have a cup of tea and one of those nice cucumber sandwiches you promised me.
Certainly, Aunt Augusta.
Won't you come and sit here, Gwendolyn?
Thanks, Mama. I'm quite comfortable where I am.
Good heavens! Lane! Why are there no cucumber sandwiches? I ordered them specially for Lady Bracknell.
There were no cucumbers on the market this morning, sir. I went down twice.
No cucumbers?
No, sir. Not even for ready money.
That will do, then. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Aunt Augusta, I am quite distressed at there being no cucumbers. Not even for ready money.
It really makes no matter, Algernon. I had some crumpets with Lady Harmony, who seems to me to be living entirely for pleasure now.
Oh, I hear her hair has turned quite gold from grief.
It certainly has changed its color. From what cause, I of course cannot say. Thank you. I've quite a treat for you tonight, Algernon. I'm going to send her down with Mary Farquhar. She's such a nice woman and so attentive to her husband. It's delightful to watch them.
I am afraid I shall have to give up the pleasure of dining with you, Aunt Augusta.
I hope not, Algernon. It would put my table completely out. Your uncle would have to dine upstairs. Fortunately, he is accustomed to that.
It is a great bore, and I need to hardly say a terrible disappointment, but I have just had a telegram that's saying that my poor friend Bunbury seems to be ill again. They seem to think that I should be with him.
It is very strange. This Mr. Bunbury seems to suffer from curiously bad health.
Oh, yes, poor Bunbury is a dreadful invalid.
Well, I must say, Algernon, that I think it is high time that Mr. Bunbury made up his mind whether he was going to live or to die. This shilly-shallying with the question is absurd. Nor do I in any way approve of the modern sympathy with invalids. I consider it morbid. Illness of any kind is hardly a thing to be encouraged in others. Health is the primary duty in life. I am always telling that to your poor uncle. But he never seems to take much notice as far as any improvement in his ailment goes. I should be much obliged if you would ask Mr. Bunbury from me to be kind enough not to have a relapse on Saturday, for I rely on you to arrange my music for me. It is my last reception, and one wants something that will encourage conversation, particularly at the end of the season, when everyone's practically said whatever they had to say, which in most cases was probably not much.
I will speak to Bunbury if he is still conscious, Aunt Augusta. And I think I can promise you that he will be all right by Saturday. Now, the music is a great difficulty. You see, if one plays good music, people don't listen. And if one plays bad music, people don't talk. But I will run over the program I've drawn out in the next room if you would kindly follow me.
Thank you, Algernon. It is very thoughtful of you. I'm sure the program will be delightful, after a few explications. French songs I cannot possibly allow. People always seem to think that they are improper, and either look shocked, which is vulgar, or laugh, which is worse. But German sounds a thoroughly respectable language, and indeed I believe is. Gwendolyn, you will accompany me.
Yes, Mamma.
Charming day to spend, Miss Fairfax.
Pray don't talk to me about the weather, Mr. Worthing. Whenever people talk to me about the weather, I always feel quite certain that they mean something else. And that makes me so nervous.
I do mean something else.
I thought so. In fact, I am never wrong.
And I would like to be allowed to take advantage of Lady Bracknell's temporary absence.
Yeah, I would certainly advise you to do so. Mamma has a way of coming back suddenly into the room that I have often had to speak to her about.
Miss Fairfax, ever since I met you, I have admired you more than any girl I have ever met since I met you.
Yes, I am quite well aware of the fact. And I often wish that, in public at any rate, that you had been more demonstrative. For me, you have always had an irresistible fascination. Even before I met you, I was far from indifferent to you. We live, as I hope you know, Mr. Worthing, in an age of ideals. The fact is constantly mentioned in the more expensive monthly magazines and has reached the provincial pulpits, I am told. And my ideal has always been to love someone of the name of Earnest. There is something in that name that inspires absolute confidence. The moment Algernon first mentioned to me that he had a friend called Earnest, I knew I was destined to love you.
You really love me, Gwendolyn.
Passionately.
Darling, you don't know how happy you've made me.
My own Earnest.
But you don't really mean to say that you couldn't love me if my name wasn't Ernest.
But your name is Earnest.
Yes, I know it is. But supposing it was something else, do you mean to say you couldn't love me then?
That is clearly a metaphysical speculation. And like most metaphysical speculations, has very little reference at all to the actual facts of real life as we know them.
Personally, darling, to speak quite candidly, I don't much care about the name of Ernest. I don't think the name suits me at all.
It suits you perfectly. It is a divine name. It has a music of its own. It produces vibrations.
Well, really, Gwendolyn, I must say that I think there are lots of other much nicer names. I think Jack, for instance, a charming name.
Jack. No. There's very little music in the name Jack, if any at all indeed. It does not thrill. It produces absolutely no vibrations. I have known several Jacks, and they all, without exception, were more than usually plain. Besides, Jack is a notorious domesticity for John, and I pity any woman married to a man called John. She would probably never be allowed to know the entrancing pleasure of a single moment's solitude. The only really safe name is Earnest.
Gwendolyn, I must get christened at once. I mean, we must get married at once. There's no time to be lost.
Married, Mr. Worthing?
Well, surely, you know that I love you, and you led me to believe, Miss Fairfax, that you were not absolutely indifferent to me.
I adore you. But you haven't proposed to me yet. Nothing has been said at all about marriage. The subject has not even been touched on.
Well, may I propose to you now?
I think it would be an admirable idea. To spare you any possible disappointment, Mr. Worthing, I think it only fair to tell you quite frankly beforehand that I am fully determined to accept you.
Gwendolyn,
Yes, Mr. Worthing, what have you got to say to me?
you know what I have got to say to you.
Yes, but you don't say it.
Gwendolyn, will you marry me?
Of course I will, darling. How long you have been about it? I am afraid you have had very little experience in how to propose.
My own one. I have never loved anyone in the world but you.
Yes, but men often propose to practice. Now, I know my brother Gerald does. All my girlfriends tell me so. What wonderfully blue eyes you have, Ernest. They are quite blue. I hope you will always look at me just like that, especially when there are other people present.
Mr. Worthing, rise, sir, from this semi-recumbent posture. It is most indecadent.
I must beg you to retire. This is no place for you. Besides, Mr. Worthing has not quite finished yet.
Finished what, may I ask?
I am engaged to Mr. Worthing, Mamma.
Pardon me, you are not engaged to anyone. When you do become engaged to someone, I or your father, should his health permit him, will inform you of the fact. An engagement should come on a young girl as a surprise, pleasant or unpleasant as the case may be. It is hardly a matter that she could be allowed to arrange for herself. Now I have a few questions to put to you, Mr. Worthing. While I am making these inquiries, you, Gwendolyn, will wait for me below in the Bentley.
Mamma!
In the Bentley, Gwendolyn.
Oh.
Gwendolyn, the automobile.
Yes, Mamma.
You can take a seat, Mr. Worthing.
Thank you, Lady Bracknell. I prefer standing.
I feel bound to tell you that you are not down on my list of eligible young men, although I have the same list as the dear Duchess of Bolton has. We work together, in fact. However, I am quite ready to enter your name, should your answers be what a really affectionate mother requires. Do you smoke?
Well, yes, I must admit I smoke.
I am glad to hear it. A man should always have an occupation, sometimes. There are far too many idle men in London as it is. How old are you?
29.
Ah, a very good age to be married at. Now, I have always been of opinion that a man who desires to get married should know either everything or nothing. Which do you know?
I know nothing, Lady Bracknell.
I am pleased to hear it. I do not approve of anything that tampers with natural ignorance. Ignorance is like a delicate, exotic fruit. Touch it and the bloom is gone. The whole theory of modern education is radically unsound. Fortunately, in England, at any rate, education produces no effect whatsoever. If it did, it would prove a serious danger to the upper classes, and probably lead to acts of violence in Grosvenor Square. What is your income?
Between 130 and 140,000 a year.
In land or in investments?
In investments, chiefly.
That is satisfactory. What between the duties expected of one during one's lifetime and the duties exacted from one after one's death, land has ceased to be either a profit or a pleasure. It gives one position and prevents one from keeping it up. That's all that can be said about land.
I have a country house, with some land, of course, attached to it, about 1,500 acres, I believe, but I don't depend on that for my real income. In fact, as far as I can make out, the poachers are the only people who make anything out of it.
A country house. How many bedrooms? Well, that point can be cleared up afterwards. You have a townhouse, I hope. A girl with a simple, unspoiled nature like Gwendolyn could hardly be expected to reside in the country.
Well, I own a house in Belgrave Square, but it is let by the year to Lady Bloxham. Of course, I can get it back whenever I like at 6 months' notice.
Lady Bloxham? I don't know her.
Oh, she goes about very little. She is a lady considerably advanced in years.
Nowadays, that is no guarantee of respectability of character. What number in Belgrave Square?
149.
The unfashionable side. I thought there was something. However, that could easily be altered.
Do you mean the fashion or the side?
Both, if necessary, I presume. What are your politics?
Well, I'm afraid I really have none. I am a liberal unionist.
Oh, they count as Tories. They dine with us, or come in the evening, at any rate. Now, to minor matters. Are your parents living?
I have lost both my parents.
To lose one parent, Mr. Worthing, may be regarded as a misfortune. To lose both looks like carelessness. He was evidently a man of some wealth. Was he born in what the radical papers call the purple of commerce, or did he rise from the ranks of the aristocracy?
I'm afraid I really don't know. Fact is, Lady Bracknell, I said I had lost my parents. It would be nearer the truth to say that my parents seem to have lost me. I don't actually know who I am by birth. I was found.
Found.
The late Mr. Thomas Cardew, an old gentleman of a very charitable and kindly disposition, found me and gave me the name of Worthing because he happened to have a first-class ticket for Worthing in his pocket at the time. Worthing is a place in Sussex. It is a seaside resort.
Where did the charitable gentleman who had a first-class ticket for this seaside resort find you?
In a handbag.
A handbag?
Yes, Lady Bracknell, I was in a handbag. A somewhat large, brown leather handbag with handles to it. An ordinary handbag, in fact.
In what locality did this Mr. James or Thomas Cardew come across this ordinary handbag?
The cloakroom at Victoria Station. It was given to him in mistake for his own.
The cloakroom at Victoria Station?
Yes, the Brighton line.
The line is immaterial! Mr. Worthing, I confess I feel somewhat bewildered by what you have just told me. To be born, or at any rate bled, in a handbag, whether it had handles or not, seems to me to display a contempt for the ordinary decencies of family life, which reminds one of the worst excesses of the French Revolution. And I presume you know what that unfortunate movement led to? As for the particular locality in which the handbag was found, a cloakroom at a railway station might serve to conceal a sexual indiscretion. Has probably indeed been used for that purpose before now. But it could hardly be regarded as an assured basis or a recognized position in good society.
May I ask you then what you would advise me to do? I need hardly say I would do anything in the world to ensure Gwendolyn's happiness.
I would strongly advise you, Mr. Worthing, to try and acquire some relations as soon as possible, and to produce at any rate one parent of either sex before the season is quite over.
Well, I don't see how I could possibly manage to do that. I can produce the handbag at any moment. It's in my dressing room at home. I really think that should satisfy you, Lady Bracknell.
Me, sir? What has it to do with me? You can hardly imagine that I and Lord Bracknell would dream of allowing our only daughter, a girl brought up with the utmost care, to marry into a cloakroom and form an alliance with a parcel. Good morning, Mr. Worthing.
Good morning. For goodness sake, don't play that ghastly tune, Archie. How idiotic you are.
Didn't it go off all right, old boy? You don't mean to say Gwendolyn refused you? Oh, it is a way she has. Gwendolyn is always refusing people. I find it most ill-natured of her.
Oh, Gwendolyn is as right as a trivet. As far as she is concerned, we are engaged. Her mother is perfectly unbearable. Never met such a gorgon. I don't really know what a gorgon is like, but I am quite sure that Lady Bracknell is one. In any case, she is a monster, without being a myth, which is rather unfair. I beg your pardon, Algy. I suppose I shouldn't talk about your own aunt in that way before you.
Oh, my dear fellow, I love hearing my relations abused. It is the only reason I put up with them. Relatives are simply a tedious pack of people who haven't the remotest knowledge of how to live, nor the smallest instinct of when to die.
Well, that is nonsense.
It isn't.
But I won't argue about the matter. You always want to argue about things.
Well, that is what things were originally made for.
On my word, if I thought that, I'd shoot myself. You don't think there is any chance of Gwendolyn becoming like her mother in about 150 years, do you, Algy?
All women become like their mothers. That is their curse. No man does. That's his.
Is that clever?
It is perfectly phrased, and as true an observation in civilized life should be.
I'm sick to death of cleverness. Everybody is clever nowadays. You can't go anywhere without meeting clever people. The thing has become an absolute public nuisance. I wish to goodness we had a few fools left.
We have.
I should extremely like to meet them. What do they talk about?
Those fools are that clever people, of course.
What fools?
By the way, did you tell Gwendolyn the truth about your being Ernest in town and Jack in the country?
My dear fellow, the truth isn't quite the sort of thing one tells to a nice, sweet, refined girl. What extraordinary ideas you have about the way to behave to a woman.
The only way to behave to a woman is to make love to her if she is pretty and to someone else if she is plain.
Oh, that is nonsense.
What about your brother Ernest?
Oh, before the end of the week I shall have got rid of him. I'll say he died in Paris of apoplexy. Lots of people die of apoplexy quite suddenly, don't they?
Yes, but it is hereditary, my dear fellow. It is the sort of thing that runs in families. Oh, no. You had much better say a severe chill.
You are sure that a severe chill isn't hereditary, or anything of that kind?
Of course it isn't.
Very well then. My poor brother Ernest is carried off suddenly in Paris by a severe chill. That gets rid of him.
But what about... I thought you said Miss Cardew was a little too much interested in your brother Ernest. Won't she feel his loss a great deal?
Oh, that is all right. Cecily is not a silly romantic girl, I am glad to say. She has got capital appetite, goes on long walks, and pays no attention at all to her lessons.
I think I should rather like to see Cecily.
I will take very good care you never do. She is excessively pretty, and she is only just 18.
Have you told Gwendolyn of your having an excessively pretty ward who has just turned 18?
Oh, one doesn't blurt these things out to people. Gwendolyn and Cecily are perfectly certain to be extremely great friends. I'll bet you anything you like that half an hour after they have met, they will be calling each other sister.
Women only call each other that after calling each other a lot of other things first. Now, we must go and get dressed if we want to get a good seat at Willis's tonight. Do you know it is nearly 7?
Oh, it always is nearly 7.
Well, I'm hungry.
I never knew you when you weren't.
What shall we do after dinner? Shall we go to the theatre?
Oh no, I loathe listening.
Then we'll go to the club.
Oh no, I hate talking.
Then we'll trot round the Empire at 10.
Oh no, I can't bear looking at things. It is so silly.
Then what shall we do?
Nothing.
It is awfully hard work doing nothing. However, I don't mind hard work where there's no definite object of any kind. We do it upon my word!
Miss Fairfax!
Algy, kindly turn your back. I have something very particular to say to Mr. Work.
Really, Gwendolyn, I don't think I can allow this at all.
Algy, you always adopt a strictly immoral attitude towards life.
Thank you.
You are not quite old enough to do that.
My own darling.
Ernest, we may never be married. From the expression on Mamma's face, I fear we never shall. Few parents nowadays pay any regard to what their children say to them. The old-fashioned respect for the young is fast dying out. Whatever influence I ever had over Mamma, I lost at the age of 3. But, although she may prevent us from becoming man and wife, and I may marry someone else, and marry often, Nothing that she could possibly do can alter my eternal devotion to you.
Dear Gwendolyn.
The story of your romantic origin, as related to me by Mamma, with unpleasing comments, has naturally stirred the deeper fibers of my nature. Your Christian name has an irresistible fascination. The simplicity of your character makes you exquisitely incomprehensible to me. Your town address in the Albany I have. What is your address in the country?
The Manor House, Woolton, Hertfordshire.
There is a good postal service, I suppose. It may be necessary to do something desperate. That, of course, will require serious consideration. I will communicate with you daily.
My own one.
How long do you remain in town?
Till Monday.
Good. Algie, you may turn round now.
Thanks, I turned around already.
You may also ring the bell.
You will let me see you to your auto, my own darling.
Certainly.
I will see Miss Fairfax out.
Yes, sir.
A glass of sherry, Lane.
Yes, sir.
Tomorrow, Lane, I shall be going bunburying.
Yes, sir.
I shouldn't be back until, say, Monday. You can pack up all the Bunbury suits and the smoking jackets and the dress clothes.
Yes, sir.
Tomorrow, Lane, I hope will be a fine day.
It never is, sir.
Perfect. Dismissed you are.
I do my best to give satisfaction, sir.
That will do, Lane. Thank you.
There's a sensible intellectual girl, the only girl I ever cared for in my life. What on earth are you so amused at?
Oh, me. I'm just a little anxious about my poor friend Bunbury, that is all.
If you don't take care, your friend Bunbury will get you into a serious scrape someday.
Oh, I love scrapes. They are the only things that are never serious.
Oh, that is nonsense, Algie. You never talk anything but nonsense.
Nobody ever does.
I love good food.
Shoo! Shoo! Cecily! Cecily, surely such a utilitarian occupation as the watering of flowers is rather Moulton's duty than yours, especially at a moment when intellectual pleasures await you. Your German grammar's on the table. Pray open it at page 15. We will repeat yesterday's lesson.
But I don't like German. It isn't at all a becoming language. I know perfectly well I look quite plain after my German lesson.
Child, you know how anxious your guardian is that you should improve yourself in every way. He laid particular stress on your German as he was leaving for town yesterday. Indeed, he always lays stress on your German when he's leaving for town.
Dear Uncle Jack is so very serious. Sometimes he's so serious that I think he cannot be quite well.
Your guardian enjoys the best of health, and his gravity of demeanour is especially to be commended in one as comparatively young as he is. I know no one who has a higher sense of duty and responsibility.
I suppose that is why he often looks a little bored when we three are together.
Cecily, I am surprised at you. Mr. Worthing has many troubles in his life. Idle merriment and triviality would be out of place in his conversation. You must remember his constant anxiety about that unfortunate young man, his brother.
Well, I wish Uncle Jack would allow that unfortunate young man, his brother, to come down here sometimes. We might have a good influence over him, Miss Prism. I'm sure you certainly would. You know German and geology. Things of that kind often influence a man very much.
I do not think that even I could produce any effect on a character that, according to his own brother's admission, is irretrievably weak, vacillating. Indeed, I'm not sure I would desire to reclaim him. I'm not in favor of this modern mania for turning bad people into good people at a moment's notice. As a man sows, so let him reap. You must put away your diary, Cecily. I really don't see why you should keep a diary at all.
I keep a diary in order to enter the wonderful secrets of my life. If I didn't write them down, I should probably forget all about them.
Memory, my dear Cecily, is the diary that we all carry about with us.
Yes, but it usually chronicles the things that have never happened and couldn't possibly have happened. I believe memory is responsible for nearly all the 3-volume novels Beauty sends us.
Do not speak slightingly of the 3-volume novel, Cecily. I wrote one myself in earlier days.
Did you really? How wonderfully clever you are, Miss Prism. I hope it did not end happily. I don't like novels that end happily. They depress me so much.
The good ended happily and the bad unhappily. That is what fiction means.
I suppose so, but it seems very unfair. And was your novel ever published?
Alas, no. The manuscript, unfortunately, was abandoned. I use the word in the sense of lost or mislaid. To your work, child. These speculations are profitless.
Ah, but I see dear Dr. Chasuble coming up through the garden.
Dr. Chasuble, this is indeed a pleasure.
How are we this morning? Miss Prism, you are, I trust, well.
Miss Prism was just complaining of a slight headache. I think it would do her so much good to have a short stroll with you in the park, Dr. Chasuble.
Cecily, I have not mentioned anything about a headache.
No, dear Miss Prism, I know that. But I felt instinctively that you had a headache. Indeed, I was thinking about that, and not about my German lesson when the rector came in.
I hope, Cecily, you're not inattentive.
Oh, I'm afraid I am.
Well, that is strange. Were I fortunate enough to be Miss Prism's pupil, I would hang upon her lips. I spoke metaphorically. Metaphor was drawn from bees. Mr. Worthing, I suppose, is not returned from town yet.
We do not expect him till Monday afternoon.
Ah, yes, he usually likes to spend his Sunday in London. He is not one of those whose sole aim is enjoyment, as by all accounts that unfortunate young man, his brother, seems to be. But I must not disturb Egeria and her pupil any longer.
Egeria, my name is Letitia, Doctor.
A classical illusion, merely, drawn from the pagan authors. I shall see you both, no doubt, at evensong.
I think, dear Doctor, I will have a stroll with you. I find I have a headache after all, and a walk might do it good.
With pleasure, Miss Prism, with pleasure. We might go as far as the schools and back.
Oh, that would be delightful. Cecily, you will read your political economy in my absence. The chapter on the fall of the rupee you may omit. It is somewhat too sensational. Even these metallic problems have their melodramatic side.
A horrid political economy, horrid geography, horrid German.
Mr. Ernest Worthing has just motored over from the station. He's brought his luggage with him.
Mr. Earnest Worthing, before the Albany W, Uncle Jack's brother. Did you tell him Mr. Worthing was in town?
Yes, miss. He seemed rather disappointed. I mentioned that you and Miss Prism were in the garden. He's most anxious to speak to you privately for a moment.
Ask Mr. Ernest Worthing to come here. I suppose you'd better talk to the housekeeper about a room for him.
Yes, miss.
I have never met any really wicked person before. I feel rather frightened. I'm so afraid he will look just like everyone else does.
You are my little cousin Cecily, I'm sure.
You are under some strange mistake. I'm not little. In fact, I believe I'm more than usually tall for my age. But I am your cousin Cecily. And you, I see from your card, are Uncle Jack's brother. My cousin Ernest. My wicked cousin Ernest.
Oh, I'm not wicked, Cecily. You mustn't think that I'm wicked.
If you are not, then you've certainly been deceiving us all in a very inexcusable manner. I hope you've not been leading a double life, pretending to be wicked and being really good all the time. That would be hypocrisy.
Oh, well, I have been rather reckless.
I'm glad to hear it.
Now that you mention the subject, I have been very bad in my own small way.
I don't think you should be so proud of that. I am sure it must have been very pleasant.
It is much pleasanter being here with you.
I can't understand how you were here at all. Uncle Jack won't be back till Monday afternoon.
That is a great disappointment. I am obliged back to town by the first train on Monday morning. I have a business appointment that I am anxious to miss.
Couldn't you miss it anywhere but in London?
No. The appointment is in London.
Oh, well, I know, of course, how important it is not to keep a business engagement if one wants to retain any sense of the beauty of life, but still, I think you'd better wait till Uncle Jack arrives. I know he's anxious to speak to you about your emigrating.
About what?
You're emigrating. He's gone up to buy your outfit.
Oh, I certainly wouldn't let Jack buy my outfits. He has no taste in neckties at all.
I don't think you will require neckties. Uncle Jack is sending you to Australia.
Oh, Australia! No, I'd sooner die.
Well, he said at dinner on Wednesday night that you would have to choose between this world, the next world, and Australia.
Well, the accounts that I have heard of the next world in Australia are not particularly encouraging. No, this world is good enough for me, Cousin Cecil.
Yes, but are you good enough for it?
Oh, I'm afraid I'm not that. That is why I would like for you to reform me. You might make that your mission, if you would, Cousin Cecil.
I'm afraid I've no time this afternoon.
Do you mind my reforming myself this afternoon, then?
But it's rather quixotic of you, but I think that you should try.
I will. I feel better already.
You are looking a little worse.
That is because I am hungry.
How thoughtless of me. I should have remembered that when one is going to lead an entirely new life, one requires regular and wholesome meals. Won't you come in?
Yes, but might I have a buttonhole first? I really have no appetite without having a buttonhole first.
Marischal meal?
No, I'd sooner a pink rose.
Why?
Because you, Cousin Cecily, are like a pink rose.
I don't think it can be right for you to say such things to me. Miss Prism never talks to me like that.
Oh, well, then Miss Prism is a nearsighted old lady. You are the prettiest girl I have ever seen.
Miss Prism says all good looks are a snare.
Oh, they are a snare that any sensible man would like to get caught in.
Oh, I don't think I would care to catch a sensible man. I should have known to talk to him about.
You are too much alone, dear Dr. Chasuble. You should get married. A misanthrope, I can understand. A womanthrope, never.
Believe me, I don't deserve so neologistic a phrase. You know, the precept, as well as the practice of the primitive church, was distinctly against matrimony.
That is obviously the reason why the primitive church has not lasted up to the present day. And you do not seem to realize, dear doctor, that by persistently remaining single, a man converts himself into a permanent public temptation. Men should be more careful. This very celibacy leads weaker vessels astray.
But is a man not equally attractive when married?
No married man is ever attractive. Except to his wife.
Often I've been told not even to her.
That depends on the intellectual sympathies of the woman. Maturity can always be depended on.
Yes.
Young women are green. Brightness can be trusted.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I spoke horticulturally. My metaphor was drawn from fruits.
Fruit.
But where is Cecily? Cecily! Cecily!
Perhaps she followed us to the schools?
This is indeed a surprise. We did not look for you till Monday afternoon.
I have returned sooner than I expected. Dr. Chasuble, I hope you are well.
Dear Mr. Worthing, I trust this garb of woe does not betoken some terrible calamity.
My brother!
More shameful deaths and extravagance?
Still leading his life of pleasure.
Dead!
Brother Earnest is dead.
Quite dead.
What a lesson for him. I trust he will profit by it.
Mr. Worthing, I offer you my sincere condolence. You have at least the consolation of knowing you were always most generous and forgiving of brothers.
Poor Ernest. He had many faults, but it is a sad, sad blow.
Yes, very sad indeed. Were you with him at the end?
No, he died abroad. In Paris, in fact. I had a telegram last night from the manager of the Grand Hotel.
Was the cause of death mentioned?
A severe chill, it seems.
As a man sows, so shall he reap.
Charity, dear Miss Prism Charity, none of us are perfect. I myself am peculiarly susceptible to drafts. Will the interment take place here?
No, he seems to have expressed a desire to be buried in Paris.
In Paris. Well, I fear that hardly points to any very serious state of mind, alas. You would no doubt wish me to make some slight allusion to this tragic domestic affliction next Sunday.
Yes, of course.
My sermon on the meaning of the manna in the wilderness can be adapted to almost any occasion, joyful or, as in the present case, distressing. I have preached it at harvest celebrations, christenings, confirmations, on days of humiliation and festal days. The last time I delivered it was in the cathedral. It was a charity sermon on behalf of the Society for the Prevention of Discontent among the upper classes. The bishop who was present was much struck by some of the analogies I drew.
That reminds me, you mentioned christenings, I think, Dr. Taspel. I suppose you know how to christen all right. I mean, of course, you are continually christening, aren't you?
It is, I regret to say, one of the rector's most constant duties in this parish. I've often spoken to the poorer classes on the subject, but they don't seem to know what prift is.
But is there any particular infant in whom you are interested, Mr. Worthing? Your brother was, I believe, unmarried, was he not?
Oh, yes.
People who live entirely for pleasure usually are.
But it is not for any child, dear doctor. I am very fond of children. No, fact is, I would like to be christened myself this afternoon, if you have nothing better to do.
But surely, Mr. Worthing, you have been christened already.
I don't remember anything about it.
Have you any grave doubts on the subject?
I certainly intend to have. Of course, I don't know if the thing would bother you in any way, or if you think I am a little too old now.
Not at all. The sprinkling, and indeed the immersion of adults is a perfectly canonical practice.
Immersion?
You need have no apprehensions. Sprinkling is all that is necessary, or indeed I think advisable. Our weather is so changeable. At what hour would you wish the ceremony performed?
Oh, I might trot round about 5 if that would suit you.
Oh, perfectly, perfectly. In fact, I have 2 similar ceremonies to perform at that time. A case of twins that occurred recently in one of the outlying cottages. On your own estates? Poor Jenkins, the driver. Most hard-working man.
Oh, I don't see much fun in being christened along with other babies. It would be childish. Would 5:30 do?
Admirably, admirably. And now, oh dear Mr. Worthing, I will intrude no longer into a house of sorrow. I would merely beg you not to be too much bowed down by grief. What seems to us bitter trials are often blessings in disguise.
This seems to me a blessing of an extremely obvious kind.
Uncle Jack! Oh, I'm so pleased to see you back. But what horrid clothes you've got on. Do go and change them.
Cecily!
My child.
Uncle Jack, what is the matter? Do look happy. You look as if you've had a toothache. And I got a surprise for you. Who do you think is in the dining room? Your brother!
Who?
Your brother, Earnest!
What nonsense, I haven't got a brother.
Oh, don't say that, Uncle Jack. However badly he may behave to in the past, he is still your brother. You couldn't be so heartless as to disown him. I'll tell him to come out, and you will shake hands with him, won't you, Uncle Jack?
These are very joyful tidings.
After we had all been resigned to his loss, his sudden return seems to me peculiarly distressing.
My 2 brothers in the dining room, I don't know what it all means. I think it is perfectly absurd. Good heavens!
Brother John, well, I have come down from town to tell you that I am sorry for all the terrible trouble I've caused you. I intend to lead a better life in the future.
Uncle Jack, if you don't shake hands with Ernest, you are not going to refuse your own brother's hand.
Nothing will induce me to take his hand. I think he's coming down here disgraceful. He knows perfectly well why.
Uncle Jack, do be nice. There is much good in everybody. Ernest has just been telling me all about his poor invalid friend Bunbury. He goes to visit so very often. Surely there must be much good in somebody who is kind to an invalid and leaves the pleasures of London to sit by a bed of pain.
Oh, he has been talking about Bunbury, has he?
Yes, he's told me all about poor Mr. Bunbury and his terrible state of health.
Well, I won't have him talk to you about Bunbury or about anything else. It is enough to drive one perfectly frantic.
The thoughts I admit are all on my side, but I must say, Brother John's coldness to me seems peculiarly painful. I expected more of an enthusiastic welcome, especially considering this is the first time I have ever come here.
Uncle Jack, if you don't shake hands with Ernest, I will never forgive you.
Never forgive me?
Never, never, never.
Well, this is the last time I shall ever do it.
Brother.
It's a pleasure to see you fun.
I will task of reconciliation.
You've done a beautiful action today, dear Chuck.
We must not be premature in our judgments.
I feel so happy.
You young scoundrel, you must get out of this place as soon as possible. I don't allow any Bunburying here.
Oh,
I put Mr. Earnest things in the room next to yours, sir. I hope that's all right.
Quiet!
Mr. Ernest Luggage, I put it in the room next to yours. I've unpacked it. I hope that's all right.
His luggage?
Yes, sir. 3 portmanteaus, a dressing case, 2 hat boxes, and a large luncheon basket.
I'm afraid I can't stay longer than a week this time.
Merriman, order the mini at once. Mr. Earnest has been suddenly called back to town.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yes. What a fearful liar you are, Jack. I have not been called back to town at all.
Yes, you have.
No, I have not heard anybody call me.
Your duty as a gentleman calls you back.
My duty as a gentleman has never interfered with my pleasures in the smallest degree.
I can quite understand that.
That Cecily is a little darling.
You are not talking Miss Cardew like that. I don't like it.
And I don't like your clothes. You look perfectly ridiculous in them. Why on earth don't you go up and change? Don't you know it is perfectly childish to be dressed in mourning for a man who's actually staying with you in your house as a guest for an entire week? I call that grotesque.
You are certainly not staying with me for a whole week as a guest or anything else. You have got to leave. By train.
I shouldn't leave you so long as you are in mourning. Oh, it would be most unfriendly if I did. If I were in mourning, I suppose you would stay with me. Oh, it would be most unkind if you didn't.
Well, will you go if I change my clothes?
Yes. If you are not too long. I have never met anyone who takes so long to change and with such little result.
Well, at any rate, that's better than being always overdressed as you are.
If I am occasionally overdressed, I make up for it by always being immensely overeducated.
Your vanity is ridiculous. Your conduct an outrage, and your presence in my garden utterly absurd. However, you have got to catch the 4:05, and I hope you will have a pleasant journey back to town. This Bunburying, as you call it, has not been a great success for you.
I think it has been a great success. I am in love with Cecily, and that is everything. But I need to see her again before I go. I need to make arrangements for another Bunbury. Ah, yes she is.
Oh, I merely came back to water the roses. I thought you were with Uncle Jack.
He has gone to fetch the Mini for me.
Oh, is he going to take you for a nice drive?
But he is going to send me away.
Then have we got to part?
I'm afraid so. It will be a most painful parting.
It is always painful to part from people whom one has known for a brief space of time. The absence of old friends one can endure with equanimity. But even a momentary separation from somebody whom one has just been introduced to is almost unbearable.
Thank you.
The Mini is at the door, sir!
It can wait, Merriman, for 5 minutes.
Yes, ma'am.
I hope, Cecily, I will not offend you if I state quite frankly and openly that you seem to me in every way the personification of absolute perfection.
I think your frankness does you a great credit, Ernest. If you will allow me, I will copy remarks into my diary.
Do you really keep a diary? Well, I'd give anything to read it, may I?
Oh, no. You see, it is simply a very young girl's own record of her thoughts and impressions, and consequently meant for publication. When it appears in volume form, I hope you'll order a copy. Pray, Ernest, don't stop. I delight in taking down from dictation. I have reached absolute perfection. You may go on. I'm quite ready for more. Oh, don't cough. When one is dictating, one should speak fluently and not cough. Besides, I don't know how to spell a cough.
Cecily, ever since I first laid eyes on your wondrous and incomparable beauty, I have dared to love you wildly, passionately, devotedly, hopelessly.
I don't think you should say you love me wildly, passionately, devotedly, hopelessly. Hopelessly. Doesn't seem to make much sense, does it?
Cecily.
The Mini is waiting, sir!
Send it round next week at the same hour.
Yes.
I don't think Uncle Jack will be very pleased to hear you staying on till next week at the same hour.
No, I don't care about Jack. I don't care about anybody in the world. I love you, Cecily. You will marry me, won't you?
You silly boy, of course!
Oh.
Why, we have been engaged for the last 3 months.
For the last 3 months.
Yes, it will be exactly 3 months this Thursday.
But how did we become engaged?
Well, ever since dear Uncle Jack first confessed to us that he had a younger brother who was very wicked and bad, you, of course, have formed the chief topic of conversation between myself and Miss Prism. And, of course, the man who is always talked about is often very attractive. I dare say it was foolish of me, but I fell in love with you, Ernest.
Darling. And when was the engagement settled?
On the 14th of February last. Worn out by your entire ignorance of my existence, I determined to end the matter, one way or the other. And after a long struggle with myself, I accepted you under this dear old tree here. The next day, I went and bought this little ring in your name. And this is a little bangle with a true lover's knot, which I promised you always to wear.
Did I really get you this? It is very pretty.
You have wonderfully good taste, Ernest. It's the excuse I've always given for your leading such a bad life.
Oh.
And here is a little box in which I keep all your dear old letters.
My letters! But Cecily, I have never written you any letters.
You need hardly remind me of that, Ernest. I remember only too well I was forced to write your letters for you. I wrote always 3 times a week and sometimes oftener.
Let's read then.
Oh no, you couldn't possibly. They would make you far too conceited. The 3 you wrote me after I had broken off our engagement are so beautiful and so badly spelled. And even now I can hardly read them without crying a little.
But was our engagement ever broken off?
Of course it was. On the 22nd of last March. You can see the entry, if you like. Today, I broke off my engagement with Earnest. I feel it is better to do so. The weather still continues charming.
Why did you break it off, Cecily? What had I done? Well, I had done nothing. I am very hurt indeed to hear you broke it off, particularly when the weather was so charming.
It would hardly have been a really serious engagement if it hadn't been broken off at least once. But I forgave you before the week was out.
What a perfect angel you are.
You dear romantic boy.
Okay.
I hope your hair curls naturally, does it?
Yes, with help from others.
I am so glad.
Cecily, you will never break off our engagement again.
I don't think I could, now that I've actually met you. Besides, of course, there is the question of your name.
Yes, of course.
You mustn't laugh at me, darling. It has always been a girlish dream of mine to love someone of the name of Earnest. There is something in that name that seems to inspire absolute confidence. I pity any poor married woman whose husband is not called Earnest.
But do you mean to tell me that you could not love me, but I were called something else?
But what else would you be called?
Oh, anything you like. Algernon, for instance.
But I don't like the name of Algernon. Oh.
Sweet lovely little darling. I can't see why you are so opposed to the name of Algernon. It is not a bad name. In fact, it is a rather aristocratic name. Half the chaps up at the bankruptcy court are called Algernon. But seriously, Cecily, could you not love me if I were called, say, Algie?
I might respect you, Ernest. I might even admire your character. But I fear I should not be able to provide you with my undivided attention.
Your rector here is, I suppose, thoroughly experienced in all the practices of all the rites and ceremonials of the church.
Yes, Dr. Chesuble's a much learned man. He's never written a single book, so you can imagine how much he knows.
I must see him on a most important christening, and in our most important business.
Oh.
I shouldn't be gone longer than half an hour.
Considering we have been engaged for the last 3 months and I only met you for the first time today, I think it is rather hard that you should leave me for so long a period as half an hour. Couldn't you make it 20 minutes?
I'll be back in no time.
Oh, what an impetuous boy he is. I like his hair so much. I must enter his proposal in my diary.
Hey, Miss Fairfax has called to see Mr. Worthing on very important business, Miss Fairfax states.
Isn't Mr. Worthing in his library?
Mr. Worthing went over in the direction of the rectory some time ago.
Pray, ask the lady to come out here. Mr. Worthing is sure to be back soon. And you can bring tea.
Yes, Miss, yes.
Miss Fairfax, I suppose one of the many good elderly women who are associated with Uncle Jack and his philanthropic work in London. I don't much like women who are interested in philanthropic work. I think it is very forward of them.
Miss Fairfax!
Pray, allow me to introduce myself to you. My name is Cecily Cardew.
Cecily Cardew. What a very sweet name. Something tells me that we are going to be great friends. People are never wrong.
How nice of you to like me so much after we've known each other such a comparatively short time. Pray sit down.
I may call you Cecily, may I not?
With pleasure,
And you will always call me Gwendolyn, won't you?
if you wish.
Then that is all quite settled, is it not?
I hope so.
Perhaps this might be a favourable opportunity for my mentioning who I am. My father is Lord Bracknell. You have never heard of Papa, I suppose?
I don't think so.
Outside the family circle, Papa, I am glad to say, is entirely unknown. I think that is quite as it should be. The home seems to me to be the proper sphere for the man. And certainly, once a man begins to neglect his domestic duties, he becomes painfully effeminate, does he not? And I don't like that. It makes men so very attractive. Cecily, Mamma, whose views on education are remarkably strict, has brought me up to be extremely short-sighted. It is part of a system. So, do you mind my looking at you through my glasses?
Oh, not at all, Gwendolyn. In fact, I am very fond of being looked at.
You are here on a short visit, I suppose.
Oh no, I live here.
Really? Your mother, no doubt, or some female relative of advanced years resides here also.
Oh no, I have no mother, nor in fact any relation.
Indeed.
My dear guardian, with the assistance of Miss Prism, has the arduous task of looking after me.
Your guardian?
Yes, I'm Mr. Worthing's ward.
Oh. It is strange. He never mentioned to me that he was bored. How secretive of him. He grows more interesting hourly. I am not sure, however, that the news inspires me with feelings of unmixed delight. I am very fond of you, Cecily. I have liked you ever since I met you. But I am bound to state that now that I know that you are Mr. Worthing's ward, I cannot help expressing a wish that you were, well, just a little older than you seem to be, and not quite so very alluring in appearance. In fact, if I may speak candidly.
Pray, do. I think that whenever one has anything unpleasant to say, one should always speak candidly.
Well, to speak with perfect candor, Cecily, I wish that you were fully 42, and more than usually plain for your age. Ernest has a strong, upright nature. He is the very soul of truth and honor. Disloyalty would be as impossible to him as deception. But even men of the noblest possible moral character are extremely susceptible to the influence of physical charms of others. Modern, no less than ancient history, supplies us with many most painful examples of what I refer to. If it were not so, indeed, history would be quite unreadable.
I beg your pardon, Gwendolyn. Did you say Ernest?
Yes.
Oh, but it is not Mr. Ernest Worthing who is my guardian. It is his brother, his elder brother.
Ernest never mentioned to me that he had a brother.
Yes, I'm sorry to say they've not been on good terms for quite a long time.
Ah, that accounts for it. And now that I think of it, I have never heard any man mention his brother. The subject seems distasteful to most men. Oh, Cecily, you have lifted a load from my mind. I was growing almost anxious. It would have been terrible for any cloud to come across a friendship like ours, would it not? Of course, you are quite sure that it is not Mr. Earnest Worthing who is your guardian?
Quite sure. In fact, I am going to be his.
I beg your pardon.
My dear Gwendolyn, I see no reason to make a secret of it to you. Our little county newspaper is sure to chronicle the facts next week. Mr. Ernest Worthing and I are engaged to be married.
My darling Cecily, I think there must be some slight error. Mr. Ernest Worthing is engaged to me. The announcement will appear in the Morning Post on Saturday, the latest.
I'm afraid there is some misconception. Ernest proposed to me exactly 10 minutes ago.
It is certainly very curious, for he asked me to be his wife yesterday afternoon at 5:30. If you would care to verify the incident, pray do so. I never travel without my diary. One should always have something sensational to read in the train. I am so sorry, dear Cecily, if it is any disappointment to you, but I am afraid I have the prior claim.
And it would distress me more than I can tell you, dear Gwendolyn, if it caused you any mental or physical anguish, but I feel bound to point out that since Ernest proposed to you, he has clearly changed his mind.
If the poor fellow has been entrapped into any foolish promise, I shall consider it my duty to rescue him at once, and with a firm hand.
Whatever unfortunate entanglement my dear boy may have gotten himself into, I shall never reproach him with it, after we are married.
Do you allude to me, Miss Cardew, as an entanglement? You are presumptuous. On an occasion of this kind, it becomes more than a moral duty to speak one's mind. It becomes a pleasure.
Do you suggest, Miss Fairfax, that I am an engagement? How dare you? This is no time for the shallow mask of manners. When I see a spade, I call it a spade.
I'm glad to say that I have never seen a spade. It is obvious that our social circles have been widely different.
Shall I lay tea as usual, miss?
Yes, as usual.
Are there many interesting walks in the vicinity, Miss Cardew?
Oh yes, a great many. To the top of one of these hills, one can see 5 counties.
5 counties? I don't think I should like that. I hate crowds.
I suppose that is why you live in town.
Quite a well-kept garden this is, Miss Cardew.
So glad you like it, Miss Fairfax.
I had no idea there were any flowers in the country.
Flowers are as common here as people are in London.
Personally, I cannot understand how anybody manages to exist in the country. If anybody who is anybody dies, the country always bores me to death.
Ah, this is what the newspapers call agricultural depression, is it not? I believe the aristocracy are suffering very much from it just at present. It is almost an epidemic amongst them, I have been told. May I offer you some tea, Miss Fairfax?
Thank you! Detestable girl. I require tea.
Sugar?
Oh, no, thank you. Sugar is not fashionable anymore.
Cake or bread and butter?
Bread and butter, please. Cake is rarely seen at the best houses nowadays.
Hand that to Miss Fairfax.
You have filled my tea with lumps of sugar, and there I ask most distinctly, bread and butter, you have given me cake. I am known for the gentleness of my disposition and the extraordinary sweetness of my nature. But I warn you, Miss Cardew, you may go too far.
To save my poor, innocent, trusting boy from the machinations of any other girl, there are no lengths to which I would not go.
From the moment I saw you, I distrusted you. I felt that you were false and deceitful. I am never deceived in such matters. My first impressions of people are invariably right.
It appears to me, Miss Fairfax, that I am trespassing on your valuable time. No doubt, you many of the calls of neighbours make of a similar character.
Honest. Oh, my own honest.
Gwendolyn, darling.
A moment. May I ask if you are engaged to be married to this young lady?
To dear little Cecily, of course not. What could have put such an idea into your pretty little head?
Thank you. You may.
I knew there must be some misunderstanding. The man whose arm is at present round your waist is my guardian, Mr. John Worthing.
I beg your pardon.
This is Uncle Jack.
Jack? Oh!
Ernest,
Oh, my only one.
moment, Ernest. May I ask you, are you engaged to be married to this young lady?
To which young lady? Good heavens, Gwendolyn!
I mean, to Gwendolyn.
Of course not! What could have put such an idea into your pretty little head?
Thank you. You may.
I felt there was some slight error, Miss Cardew. The gentleman who is now embracing you is my cousin, Mr. Algernon Moncrief.
Algernon Moncrief?
Oh!
Are you really called Algernon?
I can cannot deny it.
Is your name really John?
I could deny it if I liked. I could deny anything if I liked. But my name certainly is John. It has been John for years.
A gross deception has been practiced on the both of us.
My poor wounded Cecily.
My sweet, wronged Gwendolyn.
You will call me sister the last
Just one question I would like to be allowed to ask my guardian.
An admirable idea. Mr. Worthing, there is just one question I would like to be permitted to put to you. Where is your brother Earnest? We are both engaged to be married to your brother Earnest. So it is a matter of some importance to us to know where your brother Earnest is at present.
Gwendolyn, Cecily, it is very painful for me to be forced to speak the truth. It is the first time in my life that I have ever been reduced to such a painful position, and I am really quite inexperienced in doing anything of the kind. However, I will tell you quite frankly that I have no brother, Ernest. I have no brother at all. I never had a brother in my life, and I certainly have not the smallest intention of ever having one in the future.
No brother at all?
None.
Had you never a brother of any kind?
Never. Not even of any kind.
Well, I am afraid it is quite clear, Cecily, that neither of us is engaged to be married to anyone.
It is not a very pleasant position for a young girl to suddenly find herself in, is it?
Let us go into the house. They will hardly venture to come after us there.
Certainly. Men are so cowardly, aren't they?
This ghastly state of things is what you call bun-burying, I suppose.
Yes, and what a wonderful bunbury it is too! Oh, the most wonderful bunbury I have ever had in my life.
Well, you have no right whatsoever to bun-bury here.
Oh, that is absurd. One has a right to bunbury wherever one pleases. Every serious bunburyist knows that.
Serious bun-buryist? Good heavens.
Oh, well, one must be serious about something if one wants to have any amusement in life. I happen to be serious about bunburying. What on earth you are serious about, I haven't the slightest idea. About everything I should fancy. Oh, you have such an absolutely trivial nature.
But the only small satisfaction I have in the whole of this wretched business is that your friend Bunbury is quite exploded. You won't be able to run down to the country quite so often as you used to do, dear Algy. And a very good thing, too.
Your brother is a little off colour, isn't he, dear Jack? You won't be able to go into London as frequent as your wicked custom was. And not a bad thing either.
As for your conduct towards Miss Cardew, I must say that your taking in a sweet, simple, innocent girl like that is quite inexcusable. Say nothing of the fact that she is my ward.
I can see no possible defence for your deceiving a brilliant, clever, thoroughly experienced young lady like Miss Fairfax, to say nothing of the fact that she is my cousin.
I want to be engaged to Gwendolyn, that is all. I love her.
Well, I simply wanted to be engaged to Cecily. I adore her.
There is certainly no chance of your marrying Miss Cardew.
I don't think there's much likelihood, Jack, in your and Miss Fairfax being united.
Well, that is no business of yours.
If it were my business, I wouldn't talk about it. Only stockbrokers and people like that talk about business, and then merely at dinner parties.
How you can sit there, calmly eating muffins, when we are in this horrible trouble, I can't make out. You seem to me to be perfectly heartless.
Well, I can't eat muffins in an agitated matter. The crumbs would probably get in my cough, sir. No. One must always eat muffins in a calm manner. It is the only way to eat them.
I say, it's perfectly heartless you're eating muffins at all under the circumstances.
When I am in trouble, I refuse everything except for food. Indeed, when I am in really great trouble, as anyone who knows me intimately will tell you, I refuse absolutely everything except for food and drink. At the present moment, I am eating muffins because I am unhappy. Besides, I am particularly fond of muffins.
Well, that's no reason why you should eat them all in that greedy way.
I wish you would have tea cake. I don't like tea cake.
Good heavens! I suppose a man may eat his own muffins in his own garden.
Whoa! What did you just say? You smothered me heartless to eat muffins.
I said it was perfectly harmless of you under the circumstances. That is a very different thing.
That may be. But the muffins are the same.
How dear! I wish to goodness you would go.
Oh, I can't possibly go. I haven't had dinner yet. I don't go anywhere without having dinner first. No one ever does, except vegetarians and people like that. Besides, I have made arrangements with Dr. Chasuble to be christened at 46 under the name of Earnest.
My dear fellow, the sooner you give up that nonsense, the better. I made arrangements this morning with Dr. Chasuble to be christened myself. At 5:30, and I naturally will take the name of Earnest. Gwendolyn would wish it. We can't both be christened Earnest, it's absurd. Besides, I have a perfect right to be christened if I like. There is no evidence at all that I have ever been christened by anybody. I should think it extremely probable that I never was. And so does Dr. Chasuble. It is entirely different in your case. You have been christened already.
Yes, but I've not been christened for years.
Yes, but you have been christened, that is the important thing.
Right, sir. So I know my constitution can handle it. If you are not sure of ever having been christened, then I dare say it is very dangerous venturing on it now. Oh, it might make you most unwell, and you need hardly forget that someone very closely connected to you was very nearly carried off this week in Paris by a severe chill.
Yes, but you said yourself that the severe chill was not hereditary.
It used to be, I know, but I dare say it is now. Science is always making such advancements in things.
Nonsense, Algy, you are always talking nonsense.
Jack, you are after to go with the muffins. I wish you went in there early too late. Besides, I told you I am very particularly fond of muffins.
I hate tea cake.
What dear the hospitality you have, Jack?
Algernon! I have already told you to go. I don't want you here. Why don't you go?
Well, I haven't quite finished my tea yet. And there's still one muffin left. Oh.
The fact that they did not follow us at once into the house, as anyone else would have done, seems to me to show that they have some sense of shame left.
They've been eating muffins. That looks like repentance.
They don't seem to notice us at all. Wouldn't you cough?
But I haven't got a cough.
They're looking at us. What effrontery.
They're reproaching. It's very forward of them.
Let us preserve a dignified silence.
Certainly. It is the only thing to do now.
This dignified silence seems to produce an unpleasant effect.
A most distasteful one.
We will not be the first to speak.
Certainly not.
Mr. Worthing, I have something very particular to ask you. Much depends on your reply.
Gwendolyn, your common sense is invaluable. Mr. Moncrief, kindly answer me the following question. Why did you pretend to be my guardian's brother?
So that I may have had an opportunity of meeting you.
Oh, it certainly seems a satisfactory explanation, does it not?
Yes, dear, if you can believe him.
I don't. But that does not change the wonderful beauty of his answer.
True. In matters of grave importance, style, not sincerity, is the vital thing. Mr. Worthing, what explanation can you offer to me for pretending to have a brother? Was it in order that you might have an opportunity of coming up to town to see me as often as possible?
Can you doubt it, Miss Fairfax?
I have the gravest doubts upon the subject, but I intend to crush them. This is not the moment for German skepticism. Their explanations appear to be quite satisfactory, especially Mr. Worthing's. That seems to me to have the stamp of truth upon it.
I am more than content with what Mr. Moncrief has said. His voice alone inspires absolute credulity.
Then you think we should forgive them?
Yes. I mean no.
I had forgotten. There are principles at stake that one cannot surrender. But which of us should tell them? The task is not a pleasant one.
Could we not both speak at the same time?
An excellent idea. I nearly always speak at the same time as other people. Will you take the time from me?
Certainly.
Your Christian names are still an insuperable barrier. That is all.
Our Christian names, is that all? But we are going to be christened this afternoon.
For my sake, you are prepared to do this terrible thing?
I am.
To please me, you are willing to face this fearful ordeal?
I am.
Absurd to talk about the quality of the sexes. Where questions of self-sacrifice are concerned, men are infinitely beyond us.
We are.
Then moments of physical courage we women know absolutely nothing of.
Oh, darling.
Darling. Lady Bradfield!
What does this mean? Merely that I am engaged to be married to Mr. Worthing, Mamma.
Come here, sit down. Sit down immediately. Hesitation of any kind is a sign of mental decay in the young, of physical weakness in the old. Apprised, sir, of my daughter's sudden flight by her trusted maid, whose confidence I purchased by means of a small coin, I followed her at once by a luggage train. Her unhappy father is, I am glad to say, under the impression that she is attending a more than usually lengthy lecture by the University Extension Scheme on the influence of a permanent income on thought. I do not propose to undeceive him. Indeed, I have never undeceived him on any question. I would consider it wrong. But of course, you will clearly understand that all communication between yourself and my daughter must cease immediately from this moment. On this point, as indeed on all points, I am firm.
I am engaged to be married to Gwendolen, Lady Bracknell.
You are nothing of the kind, sir. And now, as regards Algernon. Algernon!
Yes, Aunt Augusta.
May I ask if it is in this house that your invalid friend, Mr. Bunbury, resides?
Bunbury? Here? No, Bunbury is somewhere else entirely. In fact, Bunbury is dead.
Dead? When did Mr. Bunbury die? His death must have been extremely sudden.
I killed him this afternoon. I mean, he died this afternoon.
What did he die of?
Who, Bunbury? Oh, he was quite exploded.
Exploded? Was he the victim of a revolutionary outrage? I was not aware that Mr. Bunbury was interested in social legislation. If so, he is well punished for his morbidity.
My dear Aunt Augusta, Bunbury was found out. What I mean to say is, the doctors found out that Bunbury could not live, and so Bunbury had to die.
He seems to have had great confidence in the opinion of his physicians. I am glad, however, that Mr. Bunbury made up his mind at the last to some definite course of action and acted under proper medical advice. And now that we have finally got rid of this Mr. Bunbury, may I ask you, Mr. Worthing, who is that young person whose hand my nephew Algernon is now holding in what seems to me a peculiarly unnecessary manner?
That lady is Miss Cecily Cardew, my ward.
Cecily and I are engaged to be married, Aunt Augusta.
I beg your pardon.
Mr. Moncrief and I are engaged to be married.
I do not know whether there is anything peculiarly exciting in the air of this particular part of Hertfordshire. But the number of engagements that go on seems to me considerably above the proper average that statistics have laid down for our guidance. I think some preliminary inquiry on my part would not be out of place. Mr. Worthing, is Miss Cardew at all connected with any of the larger railway stations in London? I merely desired information. Until yesterday, I had no idea that there were any families or persons whose origin was a terminus.
Miss Cardew is the granddaughter of the late Mr. Thomas Cardew of 149, Belgrave Square, SW, Gavas Park, Dorking, Surrey, and the Sporin, Fifeshire, NB.
That sounds not unsatisfactory. 3 addresses always inspire confidence, even in tradesmen. But what proof have I of their authenticity?
I have carefully preserved the court guides of the period. They are open to your inspection, Lady Bracknell.
I have known strange errors in that publication.
Miss Cardew's family solicitors are Messrs. Markby, Markby, and Markby.
Markby, and Markby, a firm of the very highest position in their profession. Indeed, I am told that one of the Mr. Markbys is occasionally to be seen at dinner parties. So far, I am satisfied.
That is extremely kind of you, Lady Bracknell. I have also in my possession, you will be pleased to hear, certificates of Miss Cardew's birth, baptism, whooping cough, registration, vaccination, confirmation, and the measles, both the German and the English variety.
Life crowded with incident, I see, though perhaps somewhat too exciting for a young girl. Gwendolen, the time approaches for our departure. We have not a moment to lose. As a matter of form, Mr. Worthing, I had better ask you if Miss Cardew has any little fortune.
Oh, about £1,030,000 in the funds. That is all. Goodbye, Lady Bracknell. So pleased to have seen you.
A moment, Mr. Worthing. £1,030,000, and in the funds. Miss Cardew seems to me a most attractive young lady, now that I look at her. Few girls of the present day have any really solid qualities, any of the qualities that last and improve with time. We live, I regret to say, in an age of surfaces. Come over here, dear. Pretty child, your dress is sadly simple, and your hair seems almost as nature might have left it. But we can soon alter all that. A thoroughly experienced French maid produces a really marvelous result in a very brief space of time. I remember recommending one to young Lady Lansing, and after 3 months, her own husband did not know her.
And after 6 months, nobody knew her.
Kindly turn round, sweet child. No, the side view is what I want. Yes, quite as I expected. There are distinct social possibilities in your profile. The 2 weak points in our age are its want of principle and its want of profile. The chin a little higher, dear. Style largely depends on the way the chin is worn. They are worn very high, just at present. Algernon,
Yes, Aunt Augusta?
there are distinct social possibilities in Miss Cardew's profile.
Cicely is the prettiest girl that I have ever seen, and I don't care 2 pence for social possibilities.
Never speak disrespectfully of society, Algernon. Only people who can't get into it do that. Dear child, of course you know that Algernon has nothing but his debts to depend upon. But I do not approve of mercenary marriages. When I married Lord Bracknell, I had no fortune of any kind, but I never dreamed for a moment of allowing that to stand in my way. Well, I suppose that I must give my consent.
Thank you, Aunt Augusta.
Cecily, you may kiss me.
Thank you, Lady Bracknell.
You may also address me as Aunt Augusta for the future.
Thank you, Aunt Augusta.
The marriage, I think, had better take place quite soon.
Thank you, Aunt Augusta.
Thank you, Aunt Augusta.
To speak frankly, I am not in favor of long engagements. They give people the opportunity of finding out each other's character before marriage, which I think isn't advisable.
I beg your pardon for interrupting you, Lady Bracknell. But this engagement is quite out of the question. I am Miss Cardew's guardian, and she cannot marry without my consent until she comes of age. That consent I absolutely decline to give.
Upon what grounds, may I ask? Algernon is an extremely, I may almost say an ostentatiously eligible young man. He has nothing, but he looks everything. What more can one desire?
It pains me very much to have to speak frankly to you, Lady Bracknell, about your nephew. But the fact is that I do not approve at all of his moral character. I suspect him of being untruthful.
My nephew Algernon? Impossible, he is an Oxonian.
I fear there can be no possible doubt about the matter. This afternoon, during my temporary absence in London on an important question of romance, he obtained admission to my house by means of a false pretense of being my brother. Under an assumed name, he drank, I've just been informed by my butler, an entire pint bottle of my Perrier Brew 59, wine I was specially reserving for myself. Continuing his disgraceful deception, he succeeded in the course of the afternoon in alienating the affections of my only ward. He subsequently stayed to tea and devoured every single muffin. What makes us to call more hypothesis that he was perfectly well aware from the first that I have no brother, that I never had a brother, and that I don't intend to have a brother, not even of any kind. I distinctly told him so myself yesterday afternoon.
Mr. Worthing, after careful consideration, I have decided entirely to overlook my nephew's conduct to you.
How very generous of you, Lady Bracknell. My own decision, however, is unalterable. I decline to give my consent.
Come here, sweet child. How old are you, dear?
Well, I'm really only 18, but I always admit to 20 when I go to evening parties.
You are perfectly right in making some slight alteration. Indeed, no woman should ever be quite accurate about her age. It looks so calculating. 18, but admitting to 20 at evening parties. Well, it will not be very long before you are of age and free from the restraints of tutelage. So I don't think your guardian's consent is, after all, a matter of any importance.
Pray excuse me, Lady Bracknell, for interrupting you again, but it is only fair to tell you that according to the terms of her grandfather's will, Miss Cardew does not come legally of age till she is 35.
That does not seem to me to be a grave objection. 35 is a very attractive age. London society is full of women of the very highest birth who have, of their own free choice, remained 35 for years. Lady Dumbleton is an instance in point. To my own knowledge, she has been 35 ever since she arrived at the age of 40. Which was many years ago. I see no reason why our dear Cecily should not be even still more attractive at the age you mention than she is at present. There will be a large accumulation of property.
Algie, could you wait for me till I was 35?
Oh, of course I could. You know that I could.
Yes, I felt it instinctively. But I could not wait all that time. I hate waiting even 5 minutes for anybody. It always makes me rather cross. I'm not punctual myself, I know, but I still value punctuality in others. Waiting, even to be married, is quite out of the question.
Then what is to be done, Cecily?
I don't know, Mr. Moncrief.
My dear Mr. Worthing, as Miss Cardew states positively that she cannot wait till she is 35, a remark which I am bound to say seems to me to show a somewhat impatient nature, I would beg of you to reconsider your decision.
But my dear Lady Bracknell, the matter is entirely in your own hands. The moment you consent to my marriage with Gwendolen, I will most gladly allow your nephew to form an alliance with my ward.
You must be quite aware that what you propose is out of the question.
Then a passionate celibacy is all that any of us can look forward to.
Oh.
That is not the destiny I propose for Gwendolen. Algernon, of course, can choose for himself. Come, dear, we have already missed 5, if not 6 trains. To miss any more might expose us to comment on the platform.
Everything is quite ready for the christenings.
The christening, sir? Is not that somewhat premature?
Both these gentlemen have expressed a desire for immediate baptism.
At their age, the idea is grotesque and irreligious. Algernon, I forbid you to be baptized. I will not hear of such excesses. Lord Bracknell would be highly displeased if he learned that that was the way you wasted your time and money.
Am I to understand then that there are to be no christenings at all this afternoon?
I don't think that, as things are now, it would be of much practical value to either of us, Dr. Chasuble.
I'm grieved to hear such sentiments from you, Mr. Worthing. They savour of the heretical views of the Anabaptists. Views that I have completely refuted in 4 of my unpublished sermons. However, as your present mood seems to be one peculiarly secular, I will return to the church at once. Indeed, I have just been informed by the pew opener that for the past hour and a half, Miss Prism has been waiting for me in the vestry.
Miss Prism? Did I hear you mention a Miss Prism?
Yes, Lady Bracknell, I'm on my way to join her.
Pray allow me to detain you for a moment. This matter may prove to be one of vital importance to Lord Bracknell and myself. Is this Miss Prism a female of repellent aspect, remotely connected with education?
She's the most cultivated of ladies, the very picture of respectability.
It is obviously the same person. May I ask what position she holds in your household?
I am a celibate, madam.
Miss Prism, Lady Bracknell, has been for the last 3 years Miss Cardew's esteemed governess and valued companion.
In spite of what I hear of her, I must see her at once. Let her be sent for.
She approaches. She is nigh.
I was told you expected me in the vestry, dear Canon. I've been waiting for you there for an hour and 3/4.
Prism! Ah! Here, Prism. Prism? Where is that baby?
What?
28 years ago, Prism, you left Lord Bracknell's house, number 104, Upper Grosvenor Street, in charge of a perambulator that contained a baby of the male sex. You never returned. A few weeks later, after the elaborate investigations of the Metropolitan Police, the perambulator was discovered at midnight, standing by itself in a remote corner of Bayswater. It contained the manuscript of a 3-volume novel of more than usually revolting sentimentality.
Oh.
But the baby was not there. Prism! Where is that baby?
Lady Bracknell, I admit with shame that I do not know. I only wish I did. The plain facts of the case are these. On the morning of the day you mention, a day that is forever branded on my memory, I prepared as usual to take the baby out in its perambulator. I had also with me a somewhat old but capacious handbag in which I intended to place the manuscript of a work of fiction that I had written during my few unoccupied hours. In a moment of mental abstraction for which I never can forgive myself, I deposited the manuscript in the bassinet and placed the baby in the handbag.
Where did you deposit the handbag?
Do not ask me, Mr. Worthing.
Miss Prism, this is a matter of no small importance to me. I insist on knowing where you deposited the handbag that contained that infant.
I left it in the cloakroom of one of the larger railway stations in London.
What railway station?
Victoria, the Brighton line.
I must retire to my room for a moment. Gwendolyn, wait here for me.
If you are not too long, I'll wait here for you all my life.
Oh, what do you think this means, Lady Bracknell?
I dare not even suspect, Dr. Chasuble. I need hardly tell you that in families of high position, strange coincidences are not supposed to occur. They are hardly considered a thing.
Uncle Jack seems strangely agitated.
Your guardian has a very emotional nature.
This noise is extremely unpleasant. He sounds as if he was having an argument. I dislike arguments of any kind. They are always vulgar and often convincing.
It is stopped now.
Oh, I wish he would arrive at some conclusion. The suspense is terrible.
I hope it will last.
Is this the handbag, Miss Prism? Examine it carefully before you speak. The happiness of more than one life depends on your answer.
This seems to be mine. Yes, here's the injury I received through the upsetting of a Gower Street omnibus in younger and happier days. Here's the stain on the lining caused by the explosion of a temperance beverage, an incident that occurred in Leamington. And here on the lock are my initials. I had forgotten that in an extravagant mood I had had them placed there. The bag is undoubtedly mine. I am delighted to have it so unexpectedly restored to me. It has been a great inconvenience being without it all these years.
Miss Prism, more is restored to you than this handbag. I was the baby you placed in it.
You!
Yes, Mother.
Oh, Mr. Worthing, I am unmarried.
Unmarried. Do not deny that is a serious blow. But after all, who has the right to cast a stone against one who has suffered? Cannot repentance wipe out an act of folly? Why should there be one law for men and another for women? Mother, I forgive you.
Mr. Worthing, there is some error. There is the lady who can tell you who you really are.
Lady Bracknell, I hate to seem inquisitive, but would you kindly inform me who I am?
I am afraid that the news I have to give you will not altogether please you. You are the son of my poor sister, Mrs. Moncrief, and consequently, Algernon's elder brother.
Algy's elder brother! Then I have a brother after all! I knew I had a brother. I always said I had a brother. Cecily, how could you have ever doubted that I had a brother? Algy! Dr. Chasuble, my unfortunate brother. Miss Prism, my unfortunate brother. Gwendolyn, my unfortunate brother. Algy, you young scoundrel, you'll have to treat me with more respect in the future. You have never behaved to me like a brother in all your life.
Not till today, I admit, old boy. Although I've been rather out of practice and.
My own. But what own are you? What is your Christian name now that you've become someone else?
Good heavens, I had quite forgotten about that point. Your decision on the subject of my name is irrevocable, I suppose.
I never change, except in my affections.
What a noble nature you have, Gwendolyn.
Then the question had better be cleared up once. Aunt Augusta, the moment. At the time when Miss Prism left me in the handbag, had I been christened already?
Every luxury that money could buy, including christening, had been lavished on you by your fond and doting parents.
Then I was christened. That is settled. Now, what name was I given? Let me know the worst.
Being the eldest son, you were naturally christened after your father.
Yes, but what was my father's Christian name?
I cannot at the present moment recall what the general's Christian name was, but I have no doubt he had one. He was eccentric, I admit, but only in later years, and that was the result of the Indian climate, and marriage, and indigestion, other things of that kind.
Algy, can't you recollect what our father's Christian name was?
We were not on speaking terms. He died before I was a year old.
His name would appear, I suppose, in the army lists of the period, Aunt Augusta.
The general was essentially a man of peace, except in his domestic life. But I have no doubt his name would appear in any military directory.
The army list of the last 40 years, and yes, it's delightful records have been my constant study. Generals M. Magley, Malum, what ghastly names I have. Markby, Migsby, Moggs, Moncrief, Lieutenant 1914, Captain, Lieutenant Colonel, Colonel, General 1943, Christian names, Earnest John. I always told you, Gwendolyn. My name was Earnest, didn't I? Well, it is Earnest after all. I mean, it naturally is Earnest.
Yes, I remember now that the general was called Earnest. I knew I had some particular reason for disliking the name.
Oh, Ernest! My own Ernest! I felt from the first that you could have no other name.
Gwendolyn, it is a terrible thing for a man to find out suddenly that all his life he has been speaking nothing but the truth.
For I feel that you are sure to change.
My own one.
Tisha,
Frederick, at last!
Cecily at last.
Brethren, at last.
My nephew, you seem to be displaying signs of triviality.
On the contrary, Aunt Augusta, I've now realized for the first time in my life the vital importance of being earnest.